Greetings, friends! Welcome back to the third game of the day for Starladder Season 10 EU coverage. This is day number 2. Only day 2 of the group stage. Can you imagine how much more Dota there is to come? That's why you should buy the ticket. It's finally in the store, and it is a value ticket. There's at least 200 more games to be played. It's only $9.99 available now. I'm Zyori, joined by Synderen once again, and here we have Power Rangers versus Team Marino, Tinkerino. Synderen, opening thoughts? What do you got?
I haven't really got so much apart from my memory that seems to tell me that the last few times these teams have played has been pretty even, but I think Power Rangers, something tells me that they've been doing better, and I'm actually going to check it right now because I have a feeling about it. But regardless, while I have a look at that, just overall, Team Tinker has been doing pretty well recently, I think. They've been... It's a new roster put together, but they've still been playing great. It's, of course, a kind of a mix and match of previous rosters. We've got Bulba and Qualifier playing from Team Liquid, who have stayed together, and then they've reinforced the roster with Sing Sing, who used to play for Cloud9, EGM is currently playing, who used to play for Alliance, and Pycat, who was playing for Mouse Sports. So it's, considering how different backgrounds these players have, I feel like they've been performing really well with the short amount of time they've had to practice, I think. Apart from one, maybe a little hiccup in the I-League qualifiers, which they unfortunately won't be performing in because of that.
Yes, and that was a best-of-1 that they ended up losing, but they did just win the Battle Arena the other day. Ironic that they weren't even one of the teams invited, but they were one of the replacement teams as EG, and I think it was Cloud9 that dropped out. Tinker was... within like hours before the game, hey, you guys want to play in this $15,000 tournament? Does that sound fun? Yeah, sure, we'll give it a try. And they end up winning it and taking home a decent little prize purse. So good news for them. Also, it is EGM now. It was Excalibur playing on their roster, especially during the I-League days, as you mentioned. Now he has been replaced by EGM. Enter God mode, if you will. But yeah, they're looking strong. And Power Rangers do have a stand-in here. Shotchlo is not playing today. It is Sunsvet who is here in his stead.
And I believe they're missing another player as well. I don't think We Just Sick is playing on the roster officially, is he?
He's on my Starladder roster.
Oh yeah, probably, because FNG used to play for PR and he's in Na'Vi now.
Yes.
So that's very possible.
So I think We Just Sick is one of the newer additions. Right now, J4 is drafting for Power Rangers, and Bulba is the drafter for Team Marino, Tinkerino here.
Yeah, it's... I might have to correct myself. I can only find one match in history between these two teams, and Team Tinker won 2-1. They lost the first game and won the next 2. There could be more matches, but I didn't find them, so... I guess my gut feeling was wrong, that I felt like I had seen a couple of times, but maybe it was only that one game that I saw and I made up I created my own little world in which PR was winning against TT. Well, we'll see in this game. At the very least, that one series went 2-1, so fairly close, of course. And as far as the drafts go, also want to say fairly close. Team Tinker with the classic Skywrath Void opener. It was the counter pick to the Brewmaster, and then the Viper picked up by Power Rangers. So they have pretty tanky heroes in the Brew and the Viper, and they have the Rubik to mainly steal the Chronosphere, I would imagine, but also a lot of other interesting spells to steal. I'm mainly thinking about Arrow, and arguably the Skywrath Ultimate, or maybe even the Silence. Grabbing that against the Void can be really useful.
Yeah, definitely right about that, good sir. We will finally get to see Brewmaster, though. I feel like he's a hero that has been forgotten about. Yesterday and today, we saw him banned out a few times, but haven't seen him played all that much. I guess Chessie did play Brewmaster yesterday in the second Alliance game. But always a good bit of fun, and Power Rangers right back to the Viper that we saw quite a bit yesterday. I'm scratching my head a little bit at this 4th ban on Venomancer from Power Rangers, though, I have to admit.
It's a hero that Sing Sing has been playing a lot recently for Team Tinker. I think people were saying it's fun that it's based on Sing Sing's stream, I think. It was deemed to be one of his least favored heroes. Not necessarily one he's bad at, but one he just really didn't like, I think.
Okay.
But he's been playing it a lot recently for Team Tinker with great success. He's had some really good games in the Veno. I think it's just a respect ban more than anything. It isn't really a big threat against Viper Brew, which they currently had at that, or which they had at that point when they banned it. So I'm guessing it's just a respect ban.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, Veno can be very irritating to deal with. He kind of has that broodmother effect a little bit, where he just sits in a lane, and as soon as you leave, you know it's going to be all plagued up with wards, and that tower will eventually fall sooner rather than later if it's left unchecked. So just irritating to deal with, and those wards they're not fun. I don't know. But Veno's one of those heroes that he doesn't. I don't know that he necessarily wins games, but he's not fun to play against. Sort of a Viper effect, I guess you could say. But team.
And they already have that, so they want to have that advantage.
Yes, absolutely. So it will be Nature's Prophet as the 4th pick for Team Tinker. Nice offlaner, and oh, here we go, Leshrac for Power Rangers.
This.
A little different.
Yeah, I like this hero a lot. He's fallen out of favor. I think the only team that really played it during TI4 was Vici Gaming, and you can't really argue with it. They got 2nd place, right? So, and a lot of the Leshrac games they had, he was really effective. But I like to think of Leshrac as a high-risk, high-reward kind of support hero, where if you fall behind, Leshrac is awful at playing from behind. He's extremely squishy. Yeah. He's really level-dependent. And Edict is so bad when you can't commit into a fight reliably. But if you get off to a good start, Edict is one of the best abilities in the game to take towers with. You've got a great stun, massive AoE damage, and he scales so well with farm that as a position 4, he's kind of ideal if you get off to a good start. So the synergy with Rubik is what I think we saw quite a lot coming out from Vici Gaming during TI4 as well. Telekinesis into the Leshrac stun, and then it also pushed Leshrac into the range of following up with an Edict or Lightning Storm. So I'm curious to see that from Power Rangers. It looks like they're definitely aiming to take down towers early with this lineup.
Yes, that is true. I think everything you said about Lesh is completely spot on. He's been paired with Shadow Demon mostly. That's the classic duo I think of. But I guess Rubik serves a similar role in terms of setting it up with the telekinesis. And there's a little bit of extra burst with the Fade Bolt that Shadow Demon doesn't offer. So there is still some nice synergy there. Overall, would you rate Lesh as a pretty... I see Lesh as like a total gamble right now. And some games it works really well, some games it doesn't, and it really is all about those initial ganks. If they work, great, Lesh is in good shape, but if you fail those first few initial ganks, eek.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely crucial for PR to secure or do their best at the very least to deny Ember Spirit a good start, because when you have squishy supports like Rubik and Leshrac, Ember Spirit feeds on these heroes. He eats them for breakfast, and the synergy in Team Tinker's lineup, I want to point this out too, in comparison to the previous game where we saw a Void on lineup with double melee, I think. While Na'Vi did lose, I think you got to see a little bit of the weakness with running melee together with Void, but Ember Spirit does not really fall into the same category. He's a melee hero, but his main damage source, Sleight of Fist, is ranged. And should you go into the Chrono with Flame Guard on, that still burns in there as well, and you have AoE damage with fire in it. So it's actually not that bad together with Void, and Team Tinker just overall very, very well-rounded lineup. Last pick Doom. Wow. What is this? How is he going so far into the drafts these days?
Your guess is as good as mine. I really don't know, especially with a Faceless Void picked up so early on. I'm actually a little embarrassed that I didn't look at that draft and go, there's one really scary hero missing. And a great pick for Power Rangers. It fits nicely into their draft here, and they will have some flexibility with their lanes. It looks like, I'm trying to remember how they do their roles on Power Rangers, and if I recall, they're one of these teams that plays more based on who's more comfortable on the hero rather than who is in that set role. And with these, with a stand-in here, a little bit harder to guess, but Moon tends to be their position 1 player. So that stands to reason Viper could be in the safe lane, though it appears Cheshire Cat on the Doom will be the one headed to the safe lane here.
Yeah, I think that's also the better choice when you're playing on Dire. At least in many cases, Doom Dire offlane is very weak. He has the ability to transition into the jungle instead. But if you want a strong Doom on the Dire, you almost have to safe lane it. Or if you can run a greedy lineup, you can full-time jungle him. But in this game, putting him solo top, expecting to go against a Prophet or a Void is probably fine. And then we'll have in the mid lane, it'll be Moon playing as the Viper. Of course, it was Cheshire Cat playing as the Doom in the top lane. And the aggressive trialing for PR will consist of Sunsvet on the Brewmaster, J4 on Leshrac, and We Just Sick on the Rubik. This is a pretty good trialing.
Yep. A lot of setup, or a lot of kill potential with that Rubik setup. Brewmaster synergizes as well. Thunderclap does a lot of damage, and of course the slow makes it easier for Lesh to chase him down with that Edict, if they're so inclined for that. So I like this. I'm excited to see how it works. Let's check out the Radiant side. We've got Team Tinker, Team TT as they're abbreviated here in Starladder. Pycat will be on the Mirana down here in the bottom lane. He'll be joined by Bola, who is on the Skywrath Mage, as well as Koikva, who is headed down to the bottom lane for now on the Nature's Prophet. It will be Sing Sing solo mid on the Ember Spirit, and that puts Enter God mode headed up top for a bit of Radiant off-lane Faceless Void action.
And by the looks of it, he will be having a one-on-one matchup with Cheshire Cat, who's actually D-warding before going to his lane. This is a very rare sight. He went to D-ward.
And he was successful.
At the mid lane, and will be back to his lane on time. He's expecting a one-on-one lane, so blocking his own wave is not that important since he knows that the enemy will still be able to get experience anyway. So the lane position not too crucial for the Doom. And another counter ward in the bottom lane. Looks like PR have really done their homework going into this match. And you know what? That's funny because before the game, you were talking about how PR are like the BO1 slayers, where they bring these upsets. They beat big teams like in the previous season of Starladder Alliance. I believe they even took down Na'Vi as well. Maybe they're just really good at preparing for the enemy teams. Like they study them. You see these two counter wards right off the bat. It's like they have TT's number right from the start.
And now TT are completely blind. Both of their initial observers are down. If you look at their vision, they have nothing but the little bit of vision they have in lane. So this is a decent advantage for Power Rangers out of the gate. Looking at Power Ranger wards here, they have this awkward observer down here that actually doesn't give a huge... It gives, okay, some vision into the lane here. And I don't think this blocks the pole camp. This little guy down here.
No, it shouldn't, I think.
So it's just giving intel, but...
This spawn box is a little weird.
What? Did they kill this? Or, I mean, the camp isn't here. I missed if they killed it. I don't think they did. Maybe it does block. But
actually, wait. Yeah, it does block. Of course it does block because it's online. You know the magic bush here?
Bulba. Oh, he's in some trouble. First blood could come out. One more auto attack. They don't have it. A little bit of path block on the Lesh. Maybe J4 could have finished him off, but a close call showing us the potential power of this lane. Only at level 1. And Brew doesn't even have the Thunderclap yet. He went first point Drunken Brawler for some crit chance. So scary stuff for TT. But sorry, onward with the...
yeah, so this ward should definitely block, and the reason being, when you know this called the magic bush that blocks both camps. Yeah, so because it's a spawn box, it has to be a box, right? And this is online with that box, so because of that, it has to be inside it, right? So I think this is pretty much the leftmost you can place this ward where it does block that camp. So a very nice ward placement. We don't see that frequently. Yeah. So yeah, very good call from PR here, and their aggressive trial, I would say, so far definitely successful. The Prophet of Koikva is still getting pretty good farm, but so is their own lane. And with the supports of the Radiant not really being able to accomplish anything, they're like, well, that lane didn't work. Let's try a new one.
Yeah, they will smoke and rotate through the mid lane, and they are headed up top. Looks like they want to pressure Cheshire Cat's Doom, who is farming pretty well. Him and Void are just going blow for blow, both with 10, 11 CS under their belts. Even Nature's Prophet TP's up, and it will suddenly be a 4-on-1. Cheshire Cat was excited about last hitting creeps, and now he will take a tumble. There's your first blood. It's Pycat on the Marana that gets the bonus gold with that Sacred Arrow.
It's going to give him his boots and maybe a TP scroll or a wand. Yep, gonna get the TP. Maybe preparing to head into perhaps the mid lane, where Sing Sing playing as Ember Spirit against Viper is an absolute nightmare, because the way Ember Spirit usually wins this lane is either through virtue of just being able to harass his opponent with Flame Guard, or just having decent base damage. But playing against the Viper, the Flame Guard will be removed by the poison attacks over time. And Viper also outranges him and just beats him with Nether Toxin too. So it's one of the harder matchups for Ember. And Sing Sing is pretty far behind. He's 10 CS behind. The arrow from Marana just missing. Could have perhaps been an attempt at killing Moon there.
Yep. And also the corrosive skin makes things more difficult. That extra bout of magic resistance makes the Flame Guard that much less effective, and anytime you hit him with the Flame Guard, you get return damage from the corrosive skin that makes the Flame Guard last an even shorter duration. So yeah, Viper, pretty well known for his ability to win 1v1 matchups, but really any melee hero struggles. I think Ember Spirit in particular is pretty hard countered here. So Sing holding his own, at least finding a baseline of farm. He is getting experience, not completely zoned out. And his supports will continue to pull rotations here. Another smoke in the inventory of Bulba. And Pycat, he loves to roam around. That's kind of the name of the game for him, so I doubt they'll leave Moon unchecked as he farms away. Sing Sing actually gets a little aggressive, connects with some Searing Chains, but now Viper's laying in with the poison attacks. And just not a hell of a lot Sing Sing can do. Needs to be a little bit careful here. He's not 6 yet, no Fire Remnants. And Moon will press forward, looking. It's just bait. That is Bulba coming in, and they'll finish him off. Nicely played by Team Tinker. And, well, they get Sing a little burst of momentum there.
the most important lane to win right now, I think, is that mid lane. Ember is a momentum-based hero, and if he gets shut down in lane and doesn't get any help, he falls behind so much. But just that one kill gets him a level 6, and now even finding a haste rune, this is all sorts of trouble in the bot lane. Sing is running in with a haste, double chains to start off, and the arrow!
Oh no, this could not be going much worse. Qualifier comes in, J4 will get taken down by Sing perhaps. Looking at the trees on the other side, We Just Zik is in no man's land. Has a TP scroll, but there's an arrow at the ready. It'll be a 2-for-0 trade. Sing with the haste rune on will head back towards the mid lane, but they could potentially reinitiate onto Sunsvet here if he's not careful. No, Sing will just head back towards mid, but 2-for-0 trade, that puts it 4-0 in hero kills, and Team Tinker pulling into the lead in the early game.
That was pretty much the ideal rune for Sing Sing to get. Not only did he get a haste, but it was out of vision of PR as well, so they had no idea he was coming that fast. They could see him checking out the rune, but...
Top, Doom, onto EGM. He is level 6, but now he'll get telekinesed as We Just Zik joins the party. Should be a dead void. No deny coming out from Pycat, and he will actually die to the creeps of all things, but still Power Rangers get their first kill of the game up top as Cheshire Cat utilizes the Doom ultimate.
So finally, PR will be getting on the board here. They need this too. With this support duo not accomplishing a kill in the bottom lane, I said they were doing fine because they forced out Team Tinker's supports, but then they kind of got static and didn't accomplish anything. And if they get under level, then this Leshrac will be absolutely useless in the mid game. He has to find kills.
EGM using the ultimate Fire Remnant forward from Sing Sing. A lot of burst onto Moon, Searing Chains to follow up, and it will be a kill secured. Smart plays from EGM. He takes the tumble in the top lane, heads right towards the mid to show off that Chronosphere. 5-1.
Sing getting another rune. He just ran out of mana. Now he's going to find a regen. He's having a great time with the runes this game.
Wow.
Now 2-0-2 in a lane he was losing heavily, but just a couple of rotations from Team Tinker have completely secured this mid lane. Sing Sing now, I believe, leading the net worth. Yes, he is ahead of the Viper by about 400 at this point because of those kills and assists. And with these low-level supports, as well as the Brewmaster, not level 6 yet, I think Sing Sing can pretty much go to any lane he wants as long as Doom is on cooldown, and he can find a kill with the help of any one of his supports.
Oh, wow. Up top, J4 gets dove. Looks like he will fall. Skywrath joins the party. EGM taking damage from the Edict, but Sing Sing comes in. Searing Chains on 2. That's a dead Rubik, and now Sunsvet in trouble. No Primal Split on him, and they will chase him down to Timbuktu. Sing Sing with the Flame Guard on. Not a care in the world. See ya. Double kill for this Ember Spirit, and that is just, oh boy. 4-0-2. Sing Sing is getting out of control. Bottom lane, Qualifier takes the Doom ultimate. Cheshire Cat will chase him down. Phase Boots and an Orb of Venom should be a pretty easy kill. Can they secure a deny? Bulba coming in, looking for it onto Qualifier, can't get it. But Cheshire Cat has to go deep for this. No TP scroll on him. Another TP coming in. He had to use the Quelling Blade, but he has nowhere to go. Will pop the salve. That'll heal him up a little bit, but still in big trouble. Pycat, arrow at the ready. Can he connect with it is the question. While we're watching this, we'll miss another kill onto the Viper from Sing Sing as the Faceless Void joins the party in the mid lane. We Just Zik coming down. That's a telekinesis onto Pycat. Arrow flies through. Will hit the Rubik. Cheshire Cat all right for now, but oh, We Just Zik not so okay. Qualifier comes in, but Sunsvet right there with a crit and a thunderclap. Oh, Qualifier trapped himself in the Sprout. A noble effort, but will seal the deal. Primal Split used as well. He wants this. Boulder Toss will come out after the tornado onto the Skywrath. Can he get a kill here? I feel like this has to be a killer. This is a huge wasted cooldown. TP support comes in, and they want this Brewmaster. Earth Panda's right here. He is going to fall. Oh, boy, Sunsvet. There's the Chronosphere. Team Tinker, we're ready and waiting for this. Not only is it a wasted Primal Split, but a death on top of it. 11-3. Team Tinkerino in the lead arena.
They're completely crushing this game, and I think the main part of it is just it's been the rotation. They've been really good at moving around the map and making use of the Nature's Prophet of Qualifier as well. Speaking of which, he's on J4 right now, and J4 going for the stun, will miss it. Sing Sing, easy kill.
Yep, double damage on Sing Sing. Now Cheshire Cat comes in. He almost could be in some trouble. Doom ultimate just coming up. Sing Sing won't get too aggressive. A little bit low on mana right here. And we'll just go back to farming. Wow, 12-3 in only 9 minutes. That's now a 2,000 gold, 3,000 experience lead for Team Tinker, and there is little sign of that changing in the near future as Sing Sing just continues to pick up momentum. 2,000 gold on him, and he may secure a tower kill here in the top lane with this double damage room. Nope, we'll just hop down to the bottom. Look how elusive he is. Forces a TP up top, goes straight down to the bottom lane, and now they'll pressure this tower.
And they might be able to get it as well. There's one creep wave here. Maybe not. Not with the Rubik there with the Fate Bolt. So he still avoids the Doom kill, at least. And gets out for now. We'll be checking the rune in about 30 seconds. He's up to 2,000 gold now. Wondering what Sing Sing goes for. I think he is a fan of the early Scotty build, if I'm not mistaken. I think he played with that one during TI4. Could be looking at an ulti really early if he wants to do that, but I still think upgrading your boots on Ember Spirit is generally a really good choice.
Yeah, the phase boots add a little bit to that sleight of fist, and it just makes him so much more mobile. You want to be able to chase people down with the flame guard, connect with the searing chains, and he may just go into phase boots drums. I mean, that's a kind of tried and true opener on the Ember Spirit, and if you can get it this early with this kind of momentum, it really helps you out quite a bit. He could also just be pulling up for a fast Battle Fury as well. A lot of different angles that Sing Sing could take with this Ember Spirit. Regardless, the moral of the story is the same. A 6-0-2 Ember Spirit in the first 10 minutes is something scary.
Yeah, and it's not just him getting a lot, by the way. Even though Koikva died twice, he still got 7 assists and 46 CS, so the Nature's Prophet is definitely getting his as well. Speaking of him, it looks like they might be trying to set up for a gank on him here. J4 is hiding behind Koikva here, waiting for some sort of TP support, and looks like Cheshire Cat wants to go for it. Actually, the perfect timing on the TP here, right before he gets ganked from above by Bulba, as well as the void of EGM. They will go on Koikva now. This could be a huge mistake. There's the chrono.
Oh, no. Moonlight Shadow as well. Koikva will survive easily. Mystic Flare comes out on Cheshire Cat. Leshrac gets soloed by the Void. It'll be a 2-0. Koikva will survive easily as the Doom expires. And Team Tinker just continue their domination streak. They should be able to grab this top tier 1 tower. No glyph available, so very little to keep it alive. Down in the bottom lane, Pycat's actually finding some space to farm as well. He was support, but he's slowly on the up and up here, turning into a core. We'll hold that thought as in the mid lane. Now Moon initiated on. Sing Sing starts off with the chains, Pycat with an arrow, and Viper just melts under the pressure. Normally a tanky hero, but they've got more than enough to bring him down. Top tier 1 tower falls, and now this tier 1 tower in the mid lane will take a tumble as well.
It's really a pleasure to watch how well Team Tinker has rotated in this game. I think as far as map movement, this has been the best performance we've seen today, and maybe today and yesterday combined out of any team. They're really good at responding and seeing the opportunities on the map and just committing for them, and it's given them 15 kills in 12 minutes. And it's not like they're playing against a lineup of PR who have awful early game. They have a Brewmaster split, a Rubik and a Leshrac, which is a pretty potent support duo in the early game in their own right, and a Viper who should be hard to gank, but Team Tinker are just finding openings everywhere. And I think for PR now, it's almost desperation time. This is when you buy a smoke, you go somewhere, you try to get a kill and then get a tower or some sort of objective, because you can't just keep getting shut down like this. It seems like no matter where they go, they just get killed off.
Yeah, they do have one tool in their arsenal now that could help change the tides, and that is the Blink Dagger on Brewmaster. He's found some farms. Sun's Vet. No, I am not confusing Synderen for Suns fan, guys. There's a guy named Sun's Vet in this game. I know it's very confusing for all of us. He's found a Blink Dagger and a fair bit of time to farm. Hopefully his next Primal Split will be better than the first, though, because that first one left something to be desired.
Well, we'll see if PR can do anything. There's the smoke. Well, it's just a matter of time before they make this call and they're like, okay, you know what? We're kind of out of options. Get something done somewhere. Yeah. Right now, EGM is hanging out here. He's looking for a cheap kill. This is a very risky play, by the way, by EGM. He does have good vision from above, but had no vision from below. Yeah, he's still going to be just fine.
With a Mask of Madness and a Chronosphere at the ready, I think he's thinking that he can get out of any sticky situation if he finds the Doom. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. He'll be able to hop on him before he gets doomed, but certainly a risky proposition. Here we go. Hops forward straight onto the Viper. Chrono comes out on one. Telekinesis from the outside. Sing Sing throws the Searing Chains, but EGM bites off more than he can chew. Now the Doom comes out onto Sing Sing. Sun's Vet trying to get the split, but the cast point gets interrupted by a silence. They still find the kill onto Sing, and Moon just barely survives by the skin of his teeth. 2 cores from Team Tinker down, and 2 kills that Power Rangers desperately needed.
And that was just way too greedy from Team Tinker. You could tell how confident they are, and now the art is to not get overconfident. They jumped on a Viper at the tier 2 with 5 heroes missing, solo Chrono, and his team wasn't even with him just yet. So I think EGM getting in a little bit over his head just then with that move, and it's really crucial for PR to mop up these 2 kills. They got 800 gold over on the Leshrac for killing the Ember Spirit, so finally he's starting to get some sort of items. And we just got level 6 on the Rubik, so they have the spell steal available. Currently got the Searing Chains level 4 in his array of spells, and well, this could be the start of a comeback for PR. I don't think it's enough just yet, but maybe with a good initiation from Panda with the Blink Dagger, they could be able to turn this one around.
Yeah, and the Panda still has his ultimate. He didn't use it in that fight. Again, he tried, but it was interrupted. The very, very long cast point on that ultimate. It was a nice silence from the Skywrath. But now that he has that ultimate available, perhaps they can take another fight. They will use that smoke. It's a 4-hero rotation towards the bottom lane. Doom, the only one not with him here, but he does have a TP scroll ready to join the party. Also a Blink Dagger sitting in the inventory at home, and he will back up to pick it up here. Now Power Rangers make the hold. An arrow flies through to scout it out. The smoke is still live. Tower is actually in deny range. They'll leave it standing for now, and they will move into the Radiant jungle.
They have to find something here. They need towers. There's still not a single tower taken by PR here. Oh,
J4.
Did EGM see J4? I don't think he did, but Pycat did.
Yep, and now he's in some trouble. Off to the other side, 2 fights breaking out. Point blank arrow onto J4 off to the side, but here's the chrono onto Moon. We just Zik taking a lot of damage off to the side. Koikba basically solos him down, and down goes the Viper as well. It's a 3-0 as Pycat solo down the ledge. That was basically 3 1v1s breaking out, more so than an actual team fight. But the end is the same. Team Tinker clean it up, and they lose pretty much nothing. They get a tier 1 tower kill, and they won't stop there. They'll press forward and hope for the tier 2.
I don't think there's any defense available yet. They'll try to go in with a bruise split perhaps, but it's going to be too late. He already used his blink to cross over, so he has to wait 5 seconds for another blink. The tower's going to be down at that point. EGM even working as a bit of a zoning mechanism here. He's going to die for it probably. Yeah.
They do have a glyph. They will pop that. There's the primal split. Moonlight Shadow and Doom. Wow, he falls, but is it worth it? We just Zik gets picked off around the side. The tier 2 tower is still taking a lot of pressure as Koikba tries to TP home. Moonlight Shadow helping Sing Sing with the retreat. He will get caught in the tornado, but the follow-up just isn't there. Dire, we're ready with some sentries. Moonlight Shadow has expired. Arrow flies through, connects on the Doom. Blink forward onto Sing Sing. Now a Drunken Haze. No more Fire Remnants down. Does have a few available. Will try to TP out. Level Death interrupts it. And that will be another set of kills on the 2 cores. Both Void and Ember Spirit get picked off once again.
And they managed to hold their tower. It's well within deny range though, so we'll probably either be denying it or losing it really, really soon. But still, PR getting 2 return kills and a tier 1 tower. Really important for them to get some sort of momentum going in the game. And again, it seemed a little peculiar, EGM running off to the side there. He didn't have Chrono ready. He knew he was... I get what he was thinking, because he didn't have Chrono, so he felt like he couldn't contribute that much to the fight. And if he can run to the side and bait off a couple of big ultimates, it could be okay, but I feel like he could have stayed on the tower and actually got it, and they could have just backed out.
Yeah, down bottom, Moon gets picked off. EGM presses forward, uses the Chrono this time, and another easy kill for Team Tinker. There will be a Battle Fury coming out for Sing Sing, so that is the first item he was pulling for. 17-minute Battle Fury. He doesn't have drums or phase boots, so it isn't the best timing we've ever seen, but certainly still well-timed, will accelerate his farm, and more importantly, make him do so much damage as he starts adding more points into that Sleight of Fist. So 20-7, Team Tinker still holding on to about a 7,500 gold lead, 5,000 experience. Not insurmountable, but Power Rangers are still in a rocky situation. That tower kill was a step in the right direction, but they'll need a lot more than that to start turning this one around. Other items we haven't mentioned, there is an Orchid up on Koikba's Nature's Prophet, and he now has a Blink Dagger to boot, and that's a Gem of True Sight on Pycat's Marana. So say goodbye to your map control, Power Rangers, as your wards will start to meet the demise. And boy, do they have a lot of them down. Look at that dire jungle. They have vision all over the place. They want to be safe when they farm, and they'll be safe at least for now.
Yeah, I think it's a good call here to just try to protect their side of the map a little bit and get some farm up on the Doom in particular. If he can get a BKB after that Blink Dagger, they might have a way bigger chance in the team fights. He can commit with a lot of confidence if he just jumps in and Chronos or Dooms the Void before the Chrono, because then there's no counter initiation coming out from Team Tinker on a BKB Doom. If they can get that core item and maybe a little bit on the Viper, who almost has the mech, perhaps they can turn the tides a little bit and be able to take a team fight. Oh, they just lost the bottom tier 2 tower. A little bit unfortunate. Moon probably didn't even realize it was within deny range and just let the siege creep get it.
Yeah, that is definitely unfortunate. I was thinking it was low enough that maybe Koikba could just TP in and try to backdoor it with some creeps. It was on like 50 hit points or something, so even through backdoor protection, there was potential for a kill. Either way, Team Tinker will find a little pick-me-up there, maybe an unexpected one at that, as they continue to move around. Sing Sing finds himself another Haste Rune. This could prove effective in this next skirmish, as there is sort of a general rotation towards the top tier 1 tower on the Dire side. PR spread all about in the trees, Cheshire Cat, as well as Sunsvet, setting the trap, I guess.
The trap is bottom.
Uh-oh. Yep, they'll find Moon, and this poor Viper, he just can't catch a break. 1 and 7. He's just... They see him, and now he's so far behind that it's like, oh, there's the Viper. Better kill him again. We know we can do it.
It's such a good combination of heroes having Nature's Prophet together with Void, because the one thing Void usually lacks in the early stages of the game is against these tanky kinds of heroes, he can't solo them with the Chrono. He can usually solo the supports, but with the Prophet support porting coming in with the ultimate as well, they can solo any, or they can duo rather, any hero on PR's lineup. So the moment they spread around the map and Void is missing, they can't go and farm their lanes, because they're always going to be 2 heroes just jumping on them. And it's terrifying to play against. And now that they're losing their map control too, I mean, there's like nowhere safe on the map anymore.
Yeah, and on top of that, Quickva went for the Orchid Malevolence build, which gives him a pretty meaty right click, pretty fast and pretty hard as well. Synergizes even more with the Chronosphere, as his right clicks are certainly something to be feared. Skywrath will be working towards a Rod of Atos here. Vitality Booster and Staff of Wizardry already picked up. Obviously a good item on the Skywrath Mage. Slow them down so they can't walk out of your Mystic Flare, and also creates pretty good setup for stray arrows flying through, as well as Searing Chains for Sing Sing to close that gap. The thing about Atos that I feel like is often overlooked is the cast range on it. You can use that thing from pretty damn far away.
I'm not even sure how long it is, the cast range. It's like, what is it?
I think it's over 1,000. I want to say 1,100.
So oh. I can't remember, but it feels like it's about 1,000 at least. So
yeah, it
is one of the longest cast range items in the game, if not the longest.
It's a great Lincoln's Breaker as well. Not that that's too useful this game, but can break it from afar. Doom looking for the ultimate, will get it onto Sing Sing, but takes an arrow. And will that be enough to create the space Sing Sing needs to survive? There should be a Moonlight Shadow available. There certainly is. And, yeah, that's a wasted Doom ulti. Now the Moonlight Shadow as they re-engage. Dire are prepared with sentries. Sun's Vet hops in, has the ultimate available, but he gets brought down. The silence from the Skywrath and the Mystic Flare on top of it. It'll be a 1-0, and now Power Rangers on the retreat. We just Zik will TP out. Koitva comes in. They're looking for some cleanup, but everyone on Power Rangers make the retreat, and it's a lot of TPs forced out there.
Good job by PR to only lose the Brewmaster, but this is exactly the problem he faces right now. As long as he's in vision before he blinks in, there are instant counters. The silence from the Skywrath and the Orchid on the Nature's Prophet just makes it incredibly difficult to play Brewmaster in this game without a BKB, and he is so far off one that it's not even realistic to get it before the game ends at the rate this is going, so it's a very hard brew game, and the thing is, it was the first pick for PR as well. They picked it over the heroes they gave away, and you just haven't seen any sort of value come out of him, so maybe they just didn't get the game they imagined, but it's a pain playing brew in this kind of game. It really is.
Yep, not an easy matchup for sure. With that, Faceless Void grabs his Ag Scepter, EGM's first item following the Mask of Madness. So now we see Chronosphere will be coming out much more frequently and can be a little more liberal with the use, not that he hasn't been so far. And with that, Team Tinker move right into the Roche pit. Treants will make it pretty easy, and I don't think Power Rangers have any vision. No, they don't. They may be suspicious, but they have no visual confirmation, and it looks like Roche will fall uncontested.
Yeah, very easy here. I guess they're going to give the Aegis to Sing Sing so he can play aggressively. He is the main Doom target. So now if he can jump in and force out the Doom on him, it means EGM gets the Chrono off, and then they're going to be perfectly fine for the fight. Actually, PR, this is not good.
Oh, here comes Sing Sing. There's the Chrono out on 2. Mystic Flare onto Moon. Viper will be the first to go down. Doom caught on the edge of it. Can't use his ultimate. He won't be the first to fall, but he'll get silenced. It's a 3-0, and this is just a disastrous cleanup here. The Primal Split comes, but they can actually just finish off the brew. They come in. Rubik is the second to last to go down, and he'll go back into Panda form. Tries to blink to safety, throws out a Thunderclap, but only so much a lone Panda can do. It is a clean 5-0 exchange. They don't even drop the Aegis, and Power Rangers on the back foot, looking pretty grim. They'll be able to turn this one around.
I think this is Rax too. Even though they're out in 20 seconds, the raw pushing power of the Radiant lineup will be able to bring down this very quickly. They have a lot of attack damage. All of their heroes, maybe apart from the Skywrath, are actually doing significant damage. And actually, even Skywrath, 107 damage isn't too shabby. It gets a lot of intelligence per level.
Yep.
And they even have the drums popped here from Pycat. So all of their heroes with great attack speed and damage, and it is indeed going to be at least the range Rax going down. Pycat committing onto J4, easy kill. And now another chrono. It's ready again.
Right on the Moon. Cheshire Cat comes in. He has a Doom, and it looks like Tinker have bit off a little more than they can chew. They've already lost their Prophet. Off in the backside, Bulba almost goes down, but the Moonlight Shadow is enough. They don't have any more sentries. Oh, no. Now Sing Sing cleans it up a little bit, brings down the Rubik. Faceless Void falls. Arrow will hit Cheshire Cat, and Sing Sing tries to make the retreat. Very low on mana here. He is still the Aegis carrier, but that level death, oh, boy. Yeah, that's a big one right there. That's a multiplier. Will Sing Sing be able to survive the onslaught on his way out, though? Searing Chains on 2, and the arrow flies through. Nice split. And Sing Sing will fire into the high ground.
Might be
Another set of Searing Chains. He might be able to clean this up. Cheshire Cat, he falls, and now Sunsvet, no ultimate available. Pat Cat's still here, and there you go. That's a 2-0 turnaround, and that's enough to call the GG. Sing Sing demoralizes him. Oh, man. That was a fun way for that game to end, I think.
Radiant victory.
Absolute slaughter by Team Tinker this game. I don't really have much more to say than just their movement around the map, their decision making, and the fact that Viper probably felt like he wasn't even playing his hero the entire game has got to be frustrating. I think he took 6, 7, or maybe even 8 chronospheres to his face. The Viper Moon was just the target of EGM every single time. Never even got to use the mech this game. Maybe once, I think. I saw it.
I don't recall a time I saw a Viper strike or a mech come out of that Viper at all. I mean, every fight he was either soloed in Chrono or during the fight that he was caught in the side of the Chrono, and if it wasn't the Void killing him, then it was a Mystic Flare coming his way. Oh, that poor guy. Moon. Maybe that's a sign of respect here, Syndran. They put so many resources into shutting him down, they were afraid of what happens if you leave Moon uncontested on a Viper. Maybe it's just an homage to his skills.
Oh, it's a really good way for way to deal with this team's teamfight ability to shut down the Viper Strike against the Ember Spirit as well as the mech. Just chronoing out the target and bringing it down immediately is a great call. And it's also the fact that Viper is naturally leading the charge. So he's the first target you can generally jump on. So it's just very natural for EGM to choose the first target, just start the fight, get an easy kill, and then play the 5-on-4. And yeah, they just never really stood a chance in this game. I think the strategy from Team Tinker and the execution was just better. Yep. That's it.
Absolutely. So we will have one more game coming up today. It is Team AS versus Cloud9. I believe AS stands for Album Sheet. We saw them yesterday. It's the Chomi Big Num crew, Aspera, 4FC, that kind of group of guys from the CIS region. It will be another long break. We've had nothing but quick games today, Cinder, and it seems like they've all been 30 minutes or shorter. And that puts us in about a 30-minute gap or so, I believe. 11:45 PST is when we're scheduled to get this next one underway. Thank you so much for joining us, folks. I'm Zyori. You can follow me on Twitter at ZyoriTV, and of course my co-caster Syndran at SyndarenDota, both of which in the title of this broadcast. Before we take a break, one more plug. The BTS Chroma Collection. We've got less than 3 days left, guys. Still about 45 shirts to sell. It's crowdfunding for t-shirts. We designed the shirt. You choose the color. They're 18 bucks a piece plus shipping. Ships internationally. I'll drop some links in chat, but please check it out. Time is of the essence. If we don't hit the 150 t-shirt sales mark by the end of the 3-day timer, then they don't ship. So if you want one, pick it up sooner rather than later, as we're pretty close to meeting the threshold. Thank you so much for joining us here. We'll be back after a long break for our final match of the day.